entertain them while we.
Oh God, really?
Let's see about this lamp real quick. I don't think we have to move.
Hello, guys. Am I live? Is this thing on?
A little bit better.
No.
Not at all. Did it make it worse? Well, it probably hasn't caught you yet. Oh wait, no, it's there. What about now? Is that better? That seems a little better. Maybe you need to get closer. It's your face is lit up more, but
is there a delay on our
yeah, there's like an 18-minute delay.
18 minute?
Or second, sorry.
Oh, options are good. God almighty.
What about that? Is that better?
Can't really. Okay.
Are you guys able to see the video now? Mine says waiting for AJ. Can you guys hear us and see us? Okay, so they're coming in now. The video just started, so you're not late. We're trying to get the lighting to look a little bit better. All right, somebody said yes, so I'm assuming that means they can hear us and see us.
Oh yeah, because I said, is this thing on?
We're trying to lighten up Justin a little bit, the camera.
Because I come from the southern part of Africa where we dark skinned.
We dark skinned out here.
Yes.
Let me see. Can y'all
Is
hear
it
us?
muted?
Okay, they said it's fine.
Oh,
this is on. They can hear. You can hear us. You can see us. Everything like that, because we want to make sure everything's good. Okay. Very clear. Okay, good. So thank you all for joining us today, man. This is a special episode of A Healthy Alternative. Today we've got the Vegan Savage Justin Howell joining us again for the second time on Healthy Alternative, right?
Yes.
Okay. The first time that he came on, he told a story of how he pretty much saved his own life, going from having sleep apnea, diabetes, was it?
Yeah. Inflammation. If it was a disease that was health related, I probably had it.
Right. So we got into all of that. He also lost a ton of weight, as y'all could tell by the title. And we're gonna kind of rehash some of those things. But I wanted to do something different for the new season of A Healthy Alternative, and I wanted to start traveling and doing live interviews. So in addition to the stuff that we've been doing every Sunday, I also want to start doing these live interviews for some of the members who have been on the show, and then for some of you all, in the future, speaking in the future, who want to get on the show, we'll have this opportunity to possibly, get on live with Chris James. So that might be cool for some of y'all. Some of y'all might motivate you. I don't know. Let me go ahead and get this recording real quick to make sure. I want to ask you all real quick that if you're watching this, if you enjoy the content we put out on The Healthy Alternative, if you enjoy the fact that I traveled to put this live together, share this video for me so that it can get to a wider audience. I want to make sure as many people get to see this live, because we're going to be answering questions live tonight for y'all. Also, please hit that like button. Let's get the like count up real quick, because that's going to help out with the YouTube algorithm and everything like that. So now that we've kind of got all of that stuff out of the way, Justin, I just wanted to get into, what have you been up to? So the last time we talked, it's been like a year and a half, I think.
If I'm not mistaken, yes.
Now some of the stuff that I know you wanted to get into was fitness, either fitness training or working on your own fitness. I know we talked about a couple of different things, like what's taken place in your life since you've altered your health.
So fitness trainer, I can check that off my list. Health and wellness coach, I'm doing that. I am currently studying. I have 6 months left in my program to become a master herbalist. So that's a new venture that I'm on. I have completed a book. I'm waiting to, get that published. It should already be published, but I'm my worst critic. And so I'm always adding stuff, taking stuff out, rewording stuff, just trying to make sure that everything is perfected. And so I'm looking to have that done and published this year. So this year I will be a master herbalist and a author.
That's dope. That's dope.
And a homeowner. So
okay, where you do you, I don't know if you want to put it out there. Where you looking to move or?
It's going to be in the upstate of South Carolina.
Okay.
So that's why I'm looking to be moving to. And hello to Darius and Ebony, who I threatened to get on live tonight. So just want to put that out there.
Shout out to Darius and Ebony. Okay, that's dope, man. So I got a couple things in the works as well. I need to catch up. If you're about to put out a book, I need to put my book out so I don't fall behind you because I haven't put my book out yet. What doing the master herbalist thing, that's dope. It's the herbs and everything like that. That's something that I'm personally interested in getting into, diving deeper into. And it's something I actually just started, scratching the surface on. What is it about, the herbalist, the wanting to be a master herbalist? Why is that drawing you?
That's drawing me because of a few things with my own health. I've seen the herbs do immaculate things with my own health. Now, herbs are not a one size fit all because your eating habits have to match what you're doing. So if you're eating horribly and are trying to use herbs, it's going to not have any effect. So you have to put your body in the correct environment so that when you take the herbs, then you will be able to see the health and wellness that you're looking for. What drew me to that is the effects that I saw with my own life of me being able to, heal, to be able to, get things in my body to work properly, my digestion to become corrected. Today, I don't look like pizza face like I did yesterday. Actually, when I woke up, when I was in Atlanta and took something that had pineapple juice in it. And I am severely allergic to pineapple now. So my mouth, and I didn't even know it had pineapple juice in it, but my mouth started burning. And I had red circles in my mouth. And then literally hours later, I had pizza face. And so, yeah, it was horrible. And so I got home and took some Burdock Root and sarsaparilla, drank it, and my face is pretty much
cleared up. I wouldn't think anything.
So yeah, it was all in my hair. It was horrible.
Wow.
So yeah, it was great.
So I mean that's dope, being able to use herbs because like all of the medicine originally stemmed from plants.
Right.
You know what I mean? Even to this day, we're still taking from nature. So it's like, why not just go to the source?
Exactly.
It makes more sense, and you ain't got to worry about the side effects, right?
Exactly. Cut out the middleman.
Somebody asked, where do you study that, or how do you become a master herbalist?
So there are several schools that are certified online. Oh my gosh. There are several schools you can become certified to become a master herbalist at, but you have to just choose the one that is best for you. Where I am attending, I love it because they deal with the anatomy and physiology. They deal with being able to grow your own herbs. So it's not a matter of telling you how to use them, but to be able to grow your own herbs, to make sure that you have the right environment in your house or wherever you are going to grow the herbs at, making sure that all that is all intact to grow the herbs. And it tells you the effect down to a cellular level as to how they work, which herbs work, and how they affect you down to a cellular level.
Nice.
So I love what I've been learning.
Yeah, that's good, man. It's I'm probably gonna be picking your brain because like I don't have the resources, mainly time, to study all of this stuff. So I like bringing people on board or keeping people close to me who already are doing that work, and then that way I could just reach out, or if somebody's having an issue, I can be like, yo, talk to Justin. He knows, you know what I mean? So that's dope. I'm definitely gonna support that.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm excited for you, and I'm also happy to see that since the last time we've talked, you still look good. You know what I'm saying? You haven't because like one of the questions people ask all the time, they're like, Chris, you bring all these people on the show, can we get an update? Like, how are they doing? Did they gain all the weight back? Because people think for some reason that when they do this, they're just automatically going to gain all the weight.
Right.
So what's your experience been with like gaining weight and sustaining and maintaining? Like how's that been for you?
For me, I gain weight very easily. If I look at food, I'm going to gain weight. I don't even have to eat it. If I if I look at it, I'm going to gain weight. But for me, I've been very calculating in my weight fluctuation, because I never gained weight that I didn't intend to gain, and I never lost weight that I didn't intend to lose. So for me, because I am coaching people, I want people to see that I'm not just telling you something that I read out of a book. I'm telling you from experience. So I've gotten down to 170 pounds. I've gotten up to, I think I was 184 when I was at Healthy Alternative. Okay. I'm at 209 right now, and it's all been calculating, and I'm getting ready to drop back down, actually go down to 165, because I want people to see that me being plant-based vegan, I still have the ability to gain mass. I still have the ability to lose mass, and I'm able to control my weight at whatever state that I'm in. So if I want to be bulky, I can sustain that. Right. If I want to be skinny, I can sustain that. If I want to be middle-sized, I can sustain that. So I want to make sure that I have the range. And anybody that follows my Instagram have seen me, you know, I call it, people say I was toothpick skinny on the, on the picture that's on the AVI here. But then if you see me on Instagram, you see my arms, sometimes my arms look huge. My legs look huge. But I do that so that people can see that with me being vegan, I can, you know, it's easy to gain weight and sustain that weight. If I want to lose the weight and sustain myself in a smaller frame, then I can. But it all depends on what, you know, each individual wants to do in their goals.
Nice. I was literally, I'm thinking while you're talking, I'm like, where's he going with this? You only gain weight when you want, you only lose it when you want. And that's so important, because it's actually something that well, me personally, I have not been doing the best job of showing people how to gain and lose weight, but I have been able to maintain my weight loss. But John has been able to, you know, build a physique and everything like that with just really, he don't even eat most of the time.
Yeah, John.
Like John is fasting. I think he's on a 5-2 schedule right now. Yeah. You know, or at least he was. And so, but he's built his physique, and we've seen his weight, you know, go up and down. And he fasts most of the time, so it's like, forget being plant-based. He ain't even eating nothing.
I don't like John.
Well, I mean, I would say for John, I know it's a challenge for him because he's still working on digestive issues and things like that. So, but I mean, I'm amazed at what he's been able to accomplish. Right. And once again, when he does eat, we do eat well. I actually I made some pasta tonight, which was delicious, you know, and it was just like, you know, you take the time, you start learning how to put these meals together and stuff like that. Now, I know the last time I talked to you, you either mentioned to me that you were a chef, or you were like cooking, like, or you want to.
I'm a wannabe chef.
Okay.
But, no, I'm a wannabe chef, but I cook. When I'm at home, I cook all the time. I very rarely eat out. I cook all the time, and, you know, I've shared some food with people who were non-vegans, and they loved it. So I'm definitely trying to, you know, put some meals together and see about doing a cookbook situation maybe, just to share some of my stuff. But yeah, cooking has been a passion of mine. That's why I was so freaking big, because I couldn't stay out the kitchen cooking. So yeah, I mean, and that has not changed. Right. So yeah, I love cooking.
Okay. Let me see if we can grab a couple questions here. If you guys have questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. I'm gonna go through real quick and just see, you know, if we got any yet. We'll definitely continue our conversation and get some more questions as we go on, if you guys don't have any. Somebody's asking, how do you become a natural herbalist? I think we already answered that. These videos, lives are motivating. Same here. Drink water. Are you guys in the same room? Yeah. Yeah, we're
I am a mirage.
This is a hologram sitting next to me. Yeah, we're in the same room. So
my mama is on here.
Who's your mom?
Hi, Gary.
Hi. Okay, hi, Gary. Okay, what's going on, Mama? Shout out. So what I explained this earlier. Maybe you weren't on. So what I did was this season on a healthy alternative. What I want to start doing is a little bit of traveling where I do these live in-person interviews. This is a way to motivate the community and also add a new layer of interaction to the brand and the channel and everything like that. So, for those of you out there who have been following me, you see I bring members onto the channel all the time. Well, Justin was literally like one of the first members I ever brought on, and people are always asking for updates and stuff. So I was like, man, why don't we do a live update in person? So that's basically my goal. As long as the finances are there, I'm going to continue to do it. We'll see how well this video does and how well this interaction does. But that's also part of the reason why I want to make sure you guys share this. And somebody was asking, how do you share? I mean, this is just YouTube. It's just you share it like you would share. There's a little button. It looks like an arrow. And you push that, and then it just has the link. Or if you just copy the link in the address bar and paste it somewhere, that will share it. And they were asking how to like. There's a thumbs up button. I mean, I'm just going through this because maybe somebody's not used to YouTube, but there's a thumb up button, and that's how you like. So for those who don't know, we got, a couple hundred people viewing right now. If everybody could hit the thumbs up button, that'd be great. I know you're resisting. I know you're like, I don't like when people tell me what to do. But, I flew all the way out here to talk to Justin. If you guys can hit the thumbs up for that, that'd be great. And then also to motivate me to go and do more of these. There's a couple more that I'm definitely going to do no matter what. But I'd like to see this grow, and it's cool. And, we get to chill, hang out, and interact. So, let's see if we got another question. I'm trying. Wait a minute.
Somebody use the guy said water fasting for 2 weeks. Does that mean? I don't know.
We missed it.
Yeah.
Oh. Is that it?
Yeah.
When you say water fasting for 2 weeks, does that mean water fasting whole 14 days? Yeah. So when we say someone water fasted for 2 weeks, we're talking about a 14-day water fast.
They drank water.
Now, what other kinds of fasting, Justin, is there? Like,
there's dry fasting, there's intermittent fasting, there's 1 meal a day, which is part of intermittent fasting. So with intermittent fasting, you have most people do 16-8, where you fast for 16 hours and you eat for 8, but those hours you can vary. I know some people that do 20 and 4. If I'm going to intermittent fast, I typically do 20 and 4. I know some people that do 23 and 1. Just depends on what your schedule is. And then there's a juice fast where you are only drinking fresh pressed juice. There is hybrid fasting, which is a term that I came up with when I think he was doing a live, and I was like, oh, that's hybrid fasting, where you let's say you dry fast for a couple of days, and then you go into a water fast, and then you go into a juice fast, and then you go to a mono fruit fast where you're only eating one thing for an entire period of time, and then the 1 meal a day. So there's different fasts. You just have to choose the one that's best for you.
Absolutely. And so that's all about education. Now I've got a ton of platforms available for you all. So for those who don't know, we have the Facebook group, which is a healthy alternative. I also developed a fasting academy, and I see somebody asking if we have a group chat for beginners. Well, I don't have a group chat specifically for beginners, but I have an academy with a community, and we have courses that are designed specifically for beginners. All of the different fasting methods that Justin just talked about, we talk about on the academy. So I would highly recommend checking that out. The link should be in the description box, but if you guys want to check it out, that is ahafastingacademy.com. And if you look up here, wherever it is right above our head, that's the link, AHA Fasting Academy. So I would say check that out. Someone asked, let me see, did you stop eating food at a specific time of day? If so, when do you eat in your last meal? So I don't know if that's...
So I used to not eat after 8 p.m. typically. But now I try not to eat a couple of hours before I go to bed. Now, the thing is, sometimes my schedule is completely off whack and I'm liable to go to bed at any ungodly hour of the night. So, with that being said, as a rule of thumb, for me, after 9 o'clock, I don't eat. And just because I want to, have an extended period of not eating before I have my first meal the next day. And that's part of my intermittent fasting that I do. But I am a firm believer of, your body does not know what time of day it is. And I know there is a stipulation that people give that say, oh, you shouldn't eat after a certain hour because da 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 da. Your body does not know that it's 6 o'clock. Your body does not know that it's 8 o'clock. Your body does not know that it's 10 o'clock. But for me, I sleep better when I am not full of food. So I try to not have anything to eat 2 to 3 hours prior to going to bed.
Yeah. I would say that for me personally, I'm similar. I don't eat early in the morning. I just can't do it. It's very uncomfortable for me. And I usually eat my dinner meal around 7 to 9 or 10 o'clock. But see, I go to sleep late. So a lot of people like 10 o'clock, that's almost bedtime. Not for me.
Yeah.
So if I eat at 10, I'm not sleep till 2, so I still got plenty of time to digest food. Somebody asked, are you dealing with any loose skin after water fasting?
Did you have any loose skin after water fasting? Yes, I've been, very transparent about the loose skin. I think even on my Instagram page, there's a picture of me holding, it's like a before and after. There's a picture of me holding up my shirt, and you could see some loose skin right around my I was gonna say my belt line, my waistline. That is, for the most part, all of the loose skin I have. I have a little loose skin on my chest, but that's it. I do not have the hanging skin on my legs and the hanging, like I can't take my arm and like wrap it around, and I can't take my belly and wrap it around.
Right.
So I've been very fortunate to not have all of those issues. You lose 200 pounds and you would think that I would have loose skin everywhere.
You should, technically.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think I would like to attribute that to more than likely my dry fasting method. And I'm not telling anybody to go out here and dry fast. That was just better for me. But yeah, that was that. And on top of the dry fasting, when I was eating, my diet was very healthy, and I drank tons of water and still drink tons of water. So all of that has, for me, had a play into me not having saggy skin like that.
Absolutely. Because when you talk about drinking water, what you're really talking about is hydration.
Exactly.
And I tell people all the time, the key to not having loose skin when you lose weight is hydration.
Right.
It doesn't really matter how quickly you lose the weight if the body is in the right environment to do what it's supposed to do. Because the body took that skin and was able to stretch it all out. So why would the body then not have the ability to put it back together? So we just got to give it the right tools, the right environment, maybe some herbs,
right,
and eat right. And then we'll because there's gonna be a little bit there. But once again, me and John, we argued with people for a long time early on, because they're like, how do you have no loose skin? You're lying, da 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 da. And it's just like, bro, what do we gain by sitting up here and lying about this? But everybody we're bringing on is having a similar experience. So exactly. What are we lying about?
Right.
It's crazy. Someone asked what your Instagram is.
VeganSavageSC.
Okay, VeganSavageSC. So you guys can actually go on there, check out his Instagram right now. We ain't going nowhere. We're gonna be here for a little while. So you guys can go on there and follow Justin. You can also follow A Healthy Alternative on Instagram as well. I'm trying to get to 10,000. So my Instagram is a.healthy.alternative. I'm plugging everybody. We both get plugs today.
Everybody getting plugged.
Okay, everybody's getting plugged. All right, what else we got? If you consume calories, you aren't fat. Okay. Well, you got another one?
Oh, while we're looking at that, I do want to say that I did experiment, because I do sea moss just about every day. I order from this guy and I get it shipped out, and I soak it and blend it and pretty much cook with it. But the water from the sea moss turns into a gel. Mm-hmm. And what I do with that is clean my skin with it. And I've been experiencing some tightness, some skin that even around my waistline that was loose, starting to tighten up. And so I'm still working with that to see exactly how tight is it going to be. And actually, my face has a natural glow from me washing my face with sea moss gel.
Nice.
So, sea moss gel, I love it.
Yeah, I mean, hydration is crazy. I'm actually going to be releasing an interview that I did with a lady named Gina Bria in a couple of weeks, which was phenomenal, where we talk in depth about water fasting and hydration, or the importance of hydration as a whole. So if you all if you don't understand hydration, if you've never studied it, it's definitely something that you need to learn about, because hydration is everything, literally. So somebody put the Warriors score in there, 20-4. What is
Wow. Oh, that's the intermittent fast one I mentioned. Some people do 20 hours.
Okay. I thought it was a game. I'm like, what are you talking about? Scott Halifax in Australia.
Somebody said, what is Burdock Root good for?
Take it if you know. Yeah.
Burdock Root is good for cleansing of the blood. It is a diuretic. So if you do Burdock Root tea, what you will discover is you don't even have to drink water. It's very weird. You don't have to drink water.
Mm-hmm.
And you will run to the bathroom like you have had a gallon of water.
Yep.
Like I was I was getting ready to do a dry fast. I didn't eat that day, but I had that Burdock Root tea in the morning. And I kept running to the bathroom, and I'm like, okay, I'm not eating anything. I only had that tea this morning. What's the problem? But it's a diuretic, and it's a good blood cleanser. And if you have acne, I promise you, I'm telling you, I was pizza face yesterday, and I'm pretty much cleared today. So Burdock Root is a good blood cleanser for sure. So, and it has been said that it is one of the herbs that assist in helping people that have HIV/AIDS.
Okay, yeah, because HIV is one of them things that we feel like there's nothing you could do for anybody. It is what it is.
Right.
But I mean, we've seen all sorts of things reversed here, whether it was cancer or diabetes, being morbidly obese. There's so many things that we've been able to, see people reversing. Epilepsy, right. Things that people be like, oh, you got to live with it for the rest of your life. So, yeah. So being able to use the herbs to help you, help assist you in reversing some of that stuff, that makes complete sense to me.
Right.
Let's see. Somebody had a question. Somebody had mentioned that the conventional dieting doesn't work for them, but fasting does work for them. If conventional dieting doesn't work for you, then stop doing conventional dieting. Do alkaline diet. Do a plant-based, fruit-based diet, or a high water content diet.
Right.
Because oftentimes the reason these diets don't work is because they're not really designed to work long term. It's really they're quick fixes. Diets are quick fixes, but what we're teaching and what we talk about are lifestyle changes. So even if the conventional dieting doesn't work for you, the lifestyle changes will always be effective. But right. You might have to let go some of your favorite stuff.
Right. And dieting only works as long as you're on it. That's what a lot of people do not understand. So I know a lot of people, and I'm not going to call any names of dieting because I don't want your algorithm to be messed up. But there are certain diets that are out here that people are on, and when they come off of the diet, they gain all the weight back that they lost on the diet. And so there has to be a life change in order for you to see continual proof or continual growth or continual weight loss. You can't just do it for a period of time and then say, oh, that's it. Whatever you do as it relates to trying to become healthy and lose weight, it has to be something that you can sustain for the rest of your life. And if you look at that and see that you cannot sustain that for the rest of your life, then you need to change what you're doing.
Exactly. And you know what? It doesn't mean when we say, oh, you got to change it doesn't mean you got to give everything up. That's right. Not what we're talking about. We're talking about tweaking things. We're talking about learning and educating yourself. Maybe you can like for example, I thought I had to give up ice cream. I did. I was like, yo, I'm done. I can't eat ice cream anymore. And I was sad about that because I used to buy half a gallon of ice cream every week. So for like 2 years, I didn't eat any ice cream. And then I realized, you know what? Maybe I can make my own ice cream at home using healthy ingredients. I'm not using like 20 freaking ingredients and stuff like that. And I developed my own ice cream, and it's delicious.
It is very delicious. Oh my God. I had it at the event, and I like to smack a couple of people. It was good.
I think I've even improved it since then because like I'm big on texture and things, and I've started adding new ingredients and stuff, like all healthy plant stuff. But it's been fun.
Wow.
Let's see. Somebody said, "Do you maintain your weight after water fasting? Can you lose more weight once you stop fasting?"
Okay, my petty almost came in because it doesn't say stop. But
I autocorrect. It's like me, I see it and I just autocorrect.
Y'all please not take offense to me. I am goofy. But so the question again is, do you maintain your weight after water fasting? Can you lose more weight once you stop fasting? Absolutely. Water fasting and fasting is used to reset your body. And so once a lot of people mess up is when you come off of a fast, especially a 3-day or more fast, people break fast with chicken breast and vegetables or salad or, some people cheeseburgers and fries. It's just when you break a fast, I would recommend that you break the fast with a high water content fruit. The watermelon season is over, unfortunately. So I wouldn't say watermelon, but some high content water content fruit. So whether that may be seeded grapes or raspberry, blueberries, whatever the case, strawberries, whatever the case may be, make sure that you break that fast with a high water content fruit. That will do a lot for you. One, you're not going to, when you step on the scale tomorrow, see that you gained 10 pounds. Because typically, that's what happens a lot of times when people break their fast and they break it incorrectly. There's like a huge surge of weight gain that they see on the scale, and then people go into panic. But when you break it with fruit, it gives your body time, it gives your stomach time to start back working. Because if you're not eating, of course, your stomach starts going to shut down. Yep. And so you're not eating anything, so it has no reason to work. When you introduce a high water content fruit to your stomach, then you are giving your stomach time to get used to receiving food again and get it used to breaking down stuff again. As you continue to move and progress in breaking your fast, then you have to make sure that you're putting foods that are nutritious and that are going to help continue your healthy lifestyle. So you can't break your fast with fruit and then 5 hours later you're eating a cheeseburger and fries. You have to continue on the healthy journey, or you will be like the hamster on the wheel, continually fasting and seeing weight loss, but then gain tons of weight when you stop. So that is very possible. You just have to make sure that you have to continue on your health cycle once you break the fast.
It's also important to keep in mind that when you fast, you are reversing a lot of the processes that the body put in place to protect you from the toxic foods. Because the body is highly intelligent, it works in real time. So when you're putting the toxic foods and things in your body, the body starts creating these barriers. This is where a lot of the plaque and things come from. Exactly. Because the mucus is there to suspend the toxicity and the acidity of the foods that we're eating. And then over time, it creates this kind of this layer that then needs to be removed. So that's good, right? You start fasting, you start the process of removing this protective barrier. But what you got to realize is the body doesn't have that layer of protective, that protective coating there anymore, right? Because you're healing. You want to get rid of it, but you can't go back to eating the same types of foods you've been eating in the same quantity that you've been eating them in, because the body hasn't had the opportunity to build that barrier back up, and you really don't want it to, right? Because it's just there as a precaution to keep you from pretty much dying. But it's not a good thing. It's a good thing that your body does it, but it's not good that the body has to do it. So when you start eating those foods, those toxic foods again, you're very susceptible, and that's why a lot of times y'all see the weight come back so fast. And even after you hit where you were, maybe you start up at 200 pounds, you get to 200 pounds, and now you're almost 210, 220. Right, and you felt like you didn't ate that much. That's why. So you got to take this journey seriously, and you really need to educate yourself and understand what's going on. Somebody was asking about I think they said they get dizzy during their fast. I don't remember where the question was.
I did a 4-day fast. On day 4, I was dizzy pretty much all day. Any help? My question would be, what were you doing? The longer you go without eating, you can't even stand up too fast, or you will feel that dizziness. So especially after that sounds about right, day 4, after day 3, you really start getting into the weakness of your body. And so you have to be very careful of your activities, because if you're not, then you will experience dizziness. You will experience the feelings of wanting to vomit. So it just depends on what your activity is. So I would say if you're fasting, stay out of the gym. Now, I was foolish a few years ago when I was doing my cycle fasting, and on day 5 of fasting, I'm in the gym working out. I would not try that now. After day 2, for me, the gym is on ice. So I would say, what are you doing? What is your activity level that you are feeling those feelings? Because typically, if you are making too quick of a moves, if you're really a busy person and up and out and going all the time, then you will experience that.
I'll add to it a little bit too, because even when I was on my fast, if I got into kind of like a heated discussion, so if I just talked, if I expressed myself too much, I would be drained. I would feel drained. Yeah. So when you fast, you really want to stay in a rested state as much as you can. Now, recently, I've been researching the essential oils. And some of you all have heard me talking about it. Well, one of the reasons why what piqued my interest about the essential oils was being able to use them while you're on your fast. Now, the essential oils are the lifeblood of a plant, and pretty much you can utilize the attributes and abilities of the various plants to assist you in pretty much anything. You got this oil for everything. So one thing that I would suggest for you all too, if you're looking at, you want something to aid you in your fast, whether it's to help you with weight loss or help you with like your hunger pangs, headaches, dizziness, vomiting, etc. We can use essential oils or herbs. And this is something I did use. I used herbs on my first fast, but I like the essential oils better because you don't even have to ingest them by mouth. You can literally rub them on the areas of your body where you're having issues, whether it's your throat, your temples, your neck, your feet, etc. And you could get an amazing result. So if you want to learn more about that, make sure to check out our Facebook group. We have a Facebook group for the oils called AAH Essential Oils. That should be in the description box. If it's not, I'll put it there, so when you guys review it, it's there, but you can find it. And you could talk to any of the moderators or admins on there. We've got Devontae, we've got Marcellia, we've got John, we've got DeWitt, and we've got Caitlin. These are all representatives of a healthy alternative that are literally there to help you. So make sure you ask them questions, and we will help you put together whatever you need for your fast. Now, we have an interesting story that I wanted to bring up, because when I very first started learning about the essential oils, I think I told John to reach out to Justin. I didn't reach out to you personally, did I?
No, John did.
Okay, John reached out to you. And I was like, I think Justin would really like this. But I was just busy. I was just really busy at the time. And I was like, I want to talk to Justin. I want to talk to, a few other people. So John reached out to you. What was that interaction like? And what kind of came of that?
So with the oil, so John gave me the oil. And the first day I tried it, the next morning, I messaged John and said, I don't know what kind of witchcraft this is. I was like, I don't know what kind of witchcraft this is, but whatever it is, I'm loving it. I have literally, and nobody knew this, I was telling John about it. I said, I've literally for a couple of months have been having literally nightmares. I'm like, what in the world is going on here? Like, so I'm waking up sleepy. And I was like, okay. So John was like, hey, try this oil. So, tried the oil and went to bed and slept like a newborn baby. So I was like, okay. So I sent John that message. And then like the next day, the same results. I said, okay, so this has to be the oil.
Right.
That's literally the only different thing that I've done. Of course, and I can't even remember which one was which at this point.
Juniper berry was the...
Juniper berry. And then there was another one, I think it was like maybe mint eucalyptus or something. I can't remember what it was.
Peppermint maybe.
And that literally had me open to like ideas and all that kind of stuff. Literally during that time, I knocked out like 4 chapters in my book, and I only had the oil for like 3 days. I knocked out 4 chapters in my book that I've written, and so it's like I was like, well, I don't know what this is going on here, but count me in. Yeah. So I mean, the oils are amazingly they work amazingly, and then the interesting thing is can't remember her name, the lady that I spoke with John. She was saying that was very interesting because somebody that she knew had the same issue with nightmares, and the juniper berry oil knocked it out.
Yeah, it's funny because we were still in the very early stages of learning about the oils, and I remember John saying like, man, I'm not exactly sure what which one to use, and he just kind of picked that one. And it ended up being exactly what you needed. It was crazy. I mean, me personally, I'm very excited. If y'all have heard me talk about them, like I'm very excited. It rolls right into what you want to do with the Master Herbalist. Right. I mean, that everything that you're learning from your certification, everything, it's going to apply to because it's the same thing. Right. The whole herb or the lifeblood of the plant, you're going to get similar attributes and benefits. Right. So I'm super excited to like continue to share that with y'all. I do want to kind of put a disclaimer out there. One thing that I will say is I've tried essential oils from like just going to Whole Foods and buying them, and they don't have the same effectiveness. It's not the same potency. Like they could still be beneficial and stuff, but not like this. So if y'all go out there and you try, like, man, they said it was gonna do this. Nah, don't. You played yourself. You play yourself. You gotta get a high quality essential oil. You want it to be therapeutic grade. You want it to have no additional chemicals. It needs to be manufactured a certain way. It's got to be a high quality product. Otherwise, your results may vary. So let's put that out there. But join the Essential Oils group and check it out and learn more. Let's see if we can grab another question. Thank you, Vibrant Spirit.
Somebody's practicing breatharianism, which is a lifestyle.
Ooh, it certainly is.
That is a like vibration on another universe.
Yeah, I thought about doing the breatharian thing, and I'm still open to trying it. Yeah. But at this point in time in my life, I kind of feel like, man, I really want to enjoy food for the first time.
I thought that was your brother.
I know, it kind of looked like him, did it?
I was going to say, what? Okay.
That's crazy. Let's see, what is this? What helped you the most? Where are you saying? I can't. Let me see. What helped you the most when you very first started after a 3-day break? After 3 days, I break every time.
What I will say, what helped me the most is I always kept in mind that I am doing this for my health. Now, for me, because your situation may not be as severe as mine was, it was literally do or die. So for me, I had no other choice but to do, because dying was not an option. So for me, it was do or die. But even if you make it to day 3, that's still an accomplishment, because after day 3, your cells are rejuvenated. And so after day 3 of your fasting, you have reached a point to where your cells have been revived, or your body has gotten rid of the old cells that weren't doing anything. So 3 days is still good, but what you should do is get a clear understanding of what are your goals, why are you doing what you're doing, Are you doing it so that you can be some fasting champion? Or are you doing it because you really want to obtain optimal health? And in that will fuel your motivation to continue on, because you're not just, as long as you are doing it for other reasons outside of bettering yourself, you will always fail at doing it. But once you are clear about your reasoning for doing it, then you will understand that, okay, I'm not going to stop at day. And fasting is a mental battle. Honestly, you can get sick and typically fast by default. Like, how many of us have been sick and didn't feel like eating and go for days without eating? It's all about your mind. And so once you conquer your mind, you can go as long as you want to go.
It's interesting that you mentioned that, because fasting is the body's natural response when you do get sick.
Exactly.
It's like if you got the flu, you don't want to eat nothing. People got to force food down your throat. Now we understand why. It's like, the body's like, all right, look, I done put up with your mess for long enough.
Exactly.
Now I'm really, really ill, and I need you to stop eating. And it just takes your appetite away, or you try to force yourself to eat something, you throw it up. Right? So that's your body literally telling you, screaming at you, like, stop. And we just like, nah, gotta eat my chicken noodle soup. Gotta get my strength up.
Gotta get my immune system up. Meanwhile, your immune system is already down because you have the flu.
Right.
So, I mean, that's kind of like an oxymoron. But I tell people all the time, if you're not hungry, then don't force yourself to eat. If you are sick and your body is requiring for you to not eat, then don't eat. What I've discovered is that the last time that I had the flu, which was, 2013, 14, I have literally not been sick since haven't even had a cold. But 2014, 15 or so, somewhere around there. And I noticed that when I ate, I felt horrible. When I didn't eat, I felt myself getting better.
Right.
And so after the second day, I was like, okay, forget it. I'm overeating. I'm over, literally. I'm not doing it anymore. And the next day, I snapped right out of it.
Okay. Hey. Okay. Y'all, I wanted to let you know, because our goal with this live stream is to interact as much as possible. If you have a question, if we skipped over it, if we didn't see it, or if you want to make sure we get to it, please use the super chat feature. Not only does it, donating and helping a healthy alternative, it also is showing me that you guys would like me to do more of these, and also we can make sure to get to your question. I think you could super chat for like $2 or something like that, and it'll put it up. So if you guys do any super chats, we're gonna get to all the super chats, but I'm gonna go to the next question, which what do you say to yourself or clients to keep them motivated through an extended fast? I'm on 19 of 40 right now. That's dope. 19 out of 40 days.
So, because before I say what I'm getting ready to say, because I was going to say sweetie, but I want to make sure that this is a female that I'm talking to and not a man.
Yeah, I think it's a lady.
Okay. You have already exceeded the amount of days that I've ever fasted a day in my life. You have definitely exceeded that. But what I will say, what I tell any of my clients, that you have to switch from motivation to drive. Motivation will initiate where you want to go. But at some point, you have to switch it from, okay, I'm not just motivated to do it, because you can be motivated to do anything and not necessarily do it. But once you get the drive to do it, it's okay, I'm going to do this and I am doing this. So what I tell my clients is, turn the motivation switch off. You already started the process, and get it to the drive. And again, the drive, what fuels your drive is, why am I doing what I'm doing? And so what I tell people that is, this is not something that you are doing forever. You're not going without food forever. Make sure that at the end of this fast, that whatever you want to accomplish, you have written a plan to do it. So I tell people all the time, if you're going to do an extended fast, don't just do an extended fast and not come out of it with a product of the fast. In other words, if you're doing an extended fast, then there should be a plan for what you're going to do with your life, not just health-wise, what you want to do financially, what you want to do for yourself emotionally, what you want to do for yourself spiritually. Like what is your plan for life? If you're going 40 days without eating, then I would suggest that every day there is a plan that and steps to achieve those plans. So don't come out of it empty-handed.
Yeah, somebody that's really good. I like that. Shift from motivation to drive. I like that, man. I'm stealing that. That's gone. That's gone. Chris, that's a Chris James official quote right there.
Yeah, make a shift.
Somebody was asking pretty much they're having issues, doing, a 3-day fast. How do you get started? Like what's the best way to get started? I wanted to quickly answer that one because for me and the experience I've had, if you prepare for your fast before you start your fast, it's like you've already done 50% of the work.
Absolutely.
Right? So it's most of us, and this is the biggest mistake. We all do this. It's like we were like, okay, we're about to do this fast. Boom, I'm about to eat pizza. I'm about to eat chicken wings. I'm gonna have my grape soda. I'm gonna eat ice cream, everything I could, get it all out the way.
The worst decision.
Because now I'm about to start fasting, and that is the absolute worst thing you could do. Even if you're not going hard and eating pizza and Taco Bell before your fast, most of us don't have well diets. Our diets are killing us. So you still need to make a shift. So the best thing I could tell you to do is start by either, number one, reducing the frequency at what that you eat food, or you could reduce or change the types of food you're eating. So like, drinking more fresh juice and making smoothies and eating more fruit leading up into the fast, drinking more water. All these things will help you prepare for the fast and help you while you're on the fast, because we have a chemical that we produce when our body is ready to start digesting food. It's called ghrelin, and that is why we get those hunger pangs. So if you can start the process of changing your habits, your daily habits, if you're used to eating 3 to 6 times a day, you reduce that down to 2 or 1 time a day prior to fasting. Now, when you go on your fast, you only got to deal with that pain or discomfort a couple times a day versus throughout the entire day.
And it's not that frequent once you get to that place. A lot of times, and what people don't understand, first of all, craving for bad food is a byproduct, and this is going to sound disgusting, is a byproduct of worms that you have, intestinal worms. The reason why you are craving certain stuff, and I mean, I know I can't be the only person that has been in a place to where I'm telling myself I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to do it. And while I'm doing it, I'm saying I'm not going to do it. So it's literally the parasites in your body that you have been feeding all of this time. And once you stop feeding those parasites, they crying out because they like, okay, I got to eat. Like I want this cake, I want this pizza, I want this Taco Bell, I want this burger. But you have to, like John said, John must be talking about me. Like Chris said,
John, quit talking about him.
You have to prepare ahead of time. You can't just, and if your eating habits is not on point, you can't just jump into it and think that you are not going to suffer. If you jump into it after, trying to live your best life before fasting, then you are going to have the worst experience ever. Those hunger pains are going to get the best of you. So you have to make sure that before fasting that you make the proper prerequisites to prepare for it.
Yep. All right. Now this is a good one. I'm gonna give this to you, Justin. They're asking. They said, let's see. How do fasts affect your workouts? I'm a boxer. Can I still train in a fast?
You're a boxer. I would say I wouldn't go. The best for you as a boxer is to do 1 meal a day. And I'm saying that because boxing is a lot of movement. It's more than just weight training. I can typically go in the gym on day 3 and do weight training. And as long as I'm doing lightweight, low reps, I'm good. But boxing, you are exerting. It's like a full body workout. You're moving around. You're, jumping around. You're doing a lot of movement. I would not say on an extended fast that would be the best. I would not go past day 2 on a fast boxing. If you want to fast and box, I would say do it as an intermittent fasting. So I would say like eat the day before, and if you want to go box on in a fasted state, box in the fasted state, and then eat after that. That would be the best recommendation that I would give for you on that.
Yeah, I would piggyback on that and say that if you're gonna be if you're boxing, you ain't gonna stop boxing. You might want to adopt a different type of fast, right? You could do juice fasting, or you could do a fruit fast where you just eat fruit. That might be a little bit easier for you. And then when you take a break, or you might want to schedule a period of time where, okay, I'm gonna take a break, right? Just like you would go on vacation, you're gonna take a break from that type of activity, and that's when you do your longer extended fast. Because you gotta be, especially when you're new to fasting. Now you take somebody like John. John has been fasting for a couple years now. He's been fasting very consistently, and he's been incorporating exercise into his fast. Now that goes against everything we've been saying so far, but the caveat is the fact that John has given his body the time to acclimate to fasting.
He's experienced.
And he's not going through those deep, heavy detoxes anymore, right? So he's got to a level where he could do that, because being in a fasted state is natural, but we are unnatural creatures. So we have to ease ourselves into it and get used to that, and then we can start doing those kind of rigorous activities. Because believe it or not, it's actually better to do your exercising and all that stuff on a quote unquote empty stomach. You know what I mean? So we have more energy, we have more clarity of mind. So that's kind of like my add-on to that. Let's see. Just a lot of exercise questions. Said John's a fasting champ. Someone said, "Why can't I fast on medications?" Do you have any insight on that?
Thank you for the response. Why can't I fast on medications? So I'm not telling you not to take your medications, but it's not wise to take medications if you're fasting. So when my mother was initially diagnosed with diabetes, what ended up happening was when she would do fasting, I would say, well, there's no need of taking the insulin. There's no need to take metformin or whatever drug you're taking, because you're not eating anything. And so if you're not eating anything, what happens is the medication messes up your system, because you're putting something in your system on an empty stomach that you shouldn't be taking on an empty stomach in the first place.
Right.
And so with that being said, you have to be very conscious about what you're doing with fasting. I don't see a need to take medication if you are fasting. Now, am I telling you to not take your medication? Absolutely not. Let's be very clear. But what I am saying is, it's not wise to take medication fasted.
Yeah, I never tell people not to take medication in general. I'm not a doctor. I don't prescribe. Y'all ain't gonna sue me, bro. But what I will say is that most people choose not to take their medications when they fast for many of the reasons that Justin stated. And at the end of the day, let's keep in mind that all medication is poison. Okay, it might make you feel better, but keep in mind it is poison. So you have to think, okay, I'm fasting to balance my body, to balance the chemicals and the hormones and things of that nature. So is it wise for me to put poisons in my body during that time? That's right. Kind of how I look at it. Real quick, we got 2 super chats. One from DMZ Hood, who was just saying, keep up the good work, yo. I appreciate that. Thank you. Hannibal Johnson just put one. I'm currently on a 9 out of a 21-day fast. How long should I eat high water content fruits after my flat fast is complete?
So, I literally just coached somebody that was on a 15-day fast or something. Now, I could windmill him because he didn't pay enough attention to what I said. But what I will say is, when you initially break your fast, because you're going without eating for so long, I would take the first 3 days to eat high water content fruit. And I know you want to really start jump back into eating. Typically, when you go that long without eating, you're not going to want to eat in the first place, and you're going to be full very fast. And so, with that being said, if you are doing high water content fruit, it's giving you the nutrition that you need, but it's also giving you the water content that you need. Like Chris say all the time, the structured water. And so with that being said, I would take the first 3 days to just get my body back used to eating, because honestly, you're not going to want to eat when you start back, and you're not going to even eat that much in the first place. So give your stomach time to adjust to you eating again. And then from that point, you can slowly start bringing in more things. But I would definitely tell you, do not break. And the people make this mistake because they say that it's healthy, but do not break a fast with a salad. Vegetables are very harsh. And so do not, cooked or raw, do vegetables when you complete a fast. Fruit is your best option.
And I want to make it this very clear, because there's a lot of confusion about what is a fruit, what is a vegetable. So based on the research that I've done and the what makes the absolute most sense to me, and I think this holds true, if it is a fruit, we're talking about the ovaries of a plant.
Yes.
Okay. So a cucumber is a fruit. A squash. Eggplant is a fruit. A vegetable is pretty much any other part of the plant. It could be the stem, the roots, it could be the leaves. Right. So we're talking about kale, right? People love kale. Kale's a superfood. It's nutrient dense. Yeah, it's nutrient dense, right? We don't want to be eating dense foods, because I think a lot of people have had this experience. You eat a whole bunch of kale and it makes you gassy. It's you, unless you're doing something to the kale, whether it's blending it up or manipulating it
or juicing
it, your body has a really hard time digesting kale. So that's what we're talking about. That's the difference.
Avocado and egg.
What?
Somebody said, what about avocado and an egg breaking a fast? If you've done a 24-hour, 48-hour fast, no harm, no foul. I would not do an egg after a 3-day or above fast.
Yeah, one guy did a 21-day fast and did raw eggs and ended up in the hospital. Yeah. Now I'm assuming he had there's some other issues going on prior to that, because it shouldn't be that extreme, because his appendix was about to burst, but and he actually didn't end up getting it out. The doctor said he needed to have it out, and he actually didn't, which I thought was cool, that he went against the grain with them saying his life was on the line like that. He just went and had some fresh juice. But we got to be careful what we break our fast with. And I know earlier we were talking about like a 21-day fast. How long should we do the fruits of the fresh fruit? 3 days is a great place to do the fresh fruit, and then even thereafter, I would still do a gradual increase of the food. So maybe on day 4 you start doing your steamed vegetables and things like that, and then as you get towards day 5, if you guys want to, you can start doing your meats and dairy products and things like that. Muhammad said, thanks brother Justin, thank you for sharing. So
no problem.
Shoot, we in here tonight, man. How long y'all trying to go? We had our typical hour, but this is a long trip, so
exactly,
it's a long trip. So we're gonna.
That was a 4-hour flight.
You know what? It was supposed to be a 2-hour flight, but it actually was late. So what did it take you longer to get to Dallas?
Anytime I come to Dallas, it's always a 4-hour flight.
They driving slow, man. They playing you.
I'd be mad.
You driving with Miss Daisy.
I'm telling you.
Nah, it was 2 hours, and they actually did it in an hour and like 30 minutes because they were late. So they got us here pretty quick.
I am not happy with this.
Hey, I don't know who you fly. I don't want to put nobody's name out there. I'll tell you afterwards, but they got me there. But they were late, so they're making up for it. Because them planes can go fast.
Yeah, they can go fast. Yeah. I'm like, put the pedal down to the floor and stop playing with me.
Somebody said I get nauseous when I take medications while fasting. Yeah, because the medications are poison.
And you shouldn't be.
And that's the reason why they always tell you to take your medications on a don't take them on an empty stomach.
You eat.
Yeah, because your body's so busy digesting the food, you don't get that reaction, that nausea and stuff. But if you are dealing with nausea from fasting and you're not taking the medication, I did see someone asked again for the group for the oils. That's the AAH Essential Oils, oils with an S. Okay. On Facebook, that's our Facebook group where we're talking specifically about oils and how to deal with all sorts of issues. So, and it ranges everything from bad dreams to chronic disease to sleeping, acne, low breast milk production. I mean, they make a plant for everything.
Exactly.
See. Someone said, what's the longest a person can dry fast, and how can I break a dry fast?
The longest a person can dry fast, it depends on your body. For me, I've gone upwards past 14 days before.
Wow.
It just depends on your body. What I will say is how you break it. I broke mine with vegetable broth. I didn't even do fruit. Vegetable broth.
Yep.
It was just straight up liquid.
Yep.
And then didn't even consume fruit. I didn't actually start eating until 5 days after I had the vegetable broth.
Yep.
Because one, what people don't understand, the longer you fast and then you put something harsh in your system, your bowels you have no control over. And I'll just put it that way. Okay. You have no control. And now I'm not saying I'm speaking from experience, but you have no control. So you have to be very careful. So I would say even after that, juice fruit and have it that way. And then, after a couple of days, then you can start eating solid fruit and then gradually bring your eating habits up to a regular, and I won't say regular, but up to, a healthy diet system.
Great. That's exactly when you break your dry fast. You break your dry fast with liquids, with water. That's how you break your dry fast. And I would say that at least 1 day, at least, of just water, even before you get into the high water content fruits, because as Justin mentioned earlier, especially on the longer fast, your stomach starts to go dormant. Right. Y'all got to realize that the body is producing all these different chemicals and digestive fluids and things. Like, you got to give your body a chance to ramp that back up.
Right.
So when you dry fast, you're not consuming anything, which means all digestive as far as like breaking things down,
on vacation.
It goes away. And that's also part of the reason why when you dry fast, you are going to see that 5 pounds of liquid come back on, but you might not actually see your clothes fit differently or your inches come back, because it's internal fluids. It's fluids that your body needs to maintain. It ain't it's not the bad weight.
Right.
So we had another super chat from VReed27. What's the longest short water fast that you can do that will immediately allow you to go back to eating regular?
The longest short water fast that you can do.
I'm glad you did this as a super chat, because I probably would have seen this and be like, is he serious or is she serious? That's just the question is like,
it's oxymoron.
You're killing
the
us.
longest short water fast that you can do that will immediately allow you to go back to regular eating, I would say 24 hours. 24 hours, 48 hours.
48 hours. If your goal is to not change your diet, right? You don't want to adopt dietary changes, and you're just looking to kind of abuse fasting. That's how I look at it. One of my friends does that. Like, I tell him all the time, is like, you're abusing fasting. You're abusing it because it's like he eats out every single day, and then he'll do like a 5-day fast. You know what I mean? But if that's what you want to, I'm not knocking you. I say abuse, I'm just joking. But if that's what you want to do, you could do 48 hours and slip right back into eating, McDonald's and all the other stuff that you've been doing. And you probably won't see much of a issue. Now, that's not guaranteed because everyone's different. But 24 hours, you're definitely going to be okay. 48 hours, you could probably get away with it. 3 days, you're
No.
pushing it. You're pushing it. You're
Right.
probably going to have a reaction. So I think that answers that question. Hey, I appreciate the questions. I appreciate the different, styles of questioning y'all are using. So keep them coming. I did want to touch quickly, and I'm gonna kind of refresh this a little bit. I wanted to touch quickly on the question somebody asked. How long can you dry fast or whatever? There is a group of people called breatharians who practice not eating or drinking for long durations of time as their lifestyle. Now, one of the things that you have to learn when you adopt some type of breatharian is you do have to learn breathing techniques. You have to be very aware and conscious of your environment. You have to be very aware and conscious of what you put on your body, right? Because that's all consumption. So people who adopt this, it is a complete lifestyle change. It's not like I'm going to work every day doing my normal daily activities with my friends and family. That's not how a breatharian is. A complete lifestyle change in order to achieve this, because all these things are daily stressors. And if you're a breatharian and you're trying to live in a normal environment, like with all the smog and everything going on, it ain't gonna work out too well.
Most of these people live in mountains, or live somewhere secluded outside of the craziness of everyday life, and they get plenty of sunlight.
Yes, sunlight.
So they actually become a human plant.
Mm-hmm.
How a plant's nurtured through sunlight. And so they get a lot of sunlight because sunlight for them is like food.
Yep.
And so it gives them all of the nutrition that they need. So if you're trying to be a breatharian, the first thing you may want to do is move to the mountains or somewhere outside of the hustle, because you get all kind of contaminants from, just being in an environment that's not conducive for that type of lifestyle.
Yep. You got it like that, man. We are plants. I call us plantimals. We're like plants and animals. So we completely ignore the plant abilities that we have. We got to make sure we ground ourselves. We got to make sure we get plenty of sunlight. We got to make sure we're getting fresh water, getting that hydration. Plants use these 3 elements to produce the fruit that we eat, and this becomes a supplement for us. So that's where we get a lot of our energy from. I'm gonna scroll back up real quick. Somebody had a question.
Yenny Vaz, please answer Yenny Vaz's question.
Well, if Yenny Vaz super chats it, we'll see it for sure. But it's a lot of questions. Let me see. Oh yeah, does water fasting slow down metabolism? I know that low calorie diets do. So what's the difference between low calorie and water fasting in regards to metabolism?
The difference between low calories and water fasting as it relates to metabolism, low calories, you're giving your body minimal nutrition. You're eating very minimal. And so what I've learned with low calorie diets is that you're pretty much teasing your body. And so you're only giving it the minimal stuff, so it's only going to work to that capacity. Wherein when you are fasting, then your body is very smart. It knows, okay, I'm not having anything for this amount of time. After this amount of time, then the person starts eating back normally. Then okay, it's not hurting your metabolism. What happens with low calorie diets, a lot of times people do it for months on end. Or try to attempt to do it for months on end, and what ends up happening is your body has gotten used to not consuming as much food, and so when you start back trying to eat regularly, it's going to pile all of that weight from the food because your metabolism is not used to handling that amount of food. What you would have to do to counteract that, if you're going to do a low calorie diet, in my opinion, I don't see the necessity of it. But if you're going to do that, then you are going to have to work it out in the gym, because that is what workouts, and especially when you're dealing with high intensity workouts, is going to kick that metabolism in. It's going to jumpstart your metabolism. And so if you are eating low calorie, then you definitely have to bust it out in the gym to kind of balance that.
100%. Low calorie diets and fasting, they're just two completely different things. I did do a video with John. What's it called? I think we're talking about is fasting the same as like low caloric intake, or is there a difference between fasting and low calorie diet? If you look in my playlist, Fasting 101 or Inspiring Interactions, you should see it in there, because I can't think of the title. It's like a 2-year-old video now. But we talked about this. You shift gears when you aren't eating anything. Your
Right.
body uses a completely different fuel source.
Right.
It's not the same, although they seem similar. They're completely different. I had somebody ask me the other day, how, like, does fasting, damage the metabolism, or how can I heal or keep my metabolism high after I fast? I'm like, bro, I'm confused. Fasting does that by fasting.
Right.
It does boost your metabolism, and it keeps it like maintained.
Right.
Now, what are you eating after your fast? That's really all we're talking about.
Exactly.
If you eat a high calorie diet of oranges, apples, grapes, pears, pineapples, tomatoes, avocados, etc., you will not gain a lick of weight.
Exactly.
So, but yet you could take that same amount of calories and eat it in Snickers, McDonald's, hamburgers, ice cream, etc., and you're going to pack the pounds on.
Exactly. Very quickly.
Go.
No, that's what I'm saying. You don't pack the pounds
yeah,
on very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. So they're just two completely different things. And if you want to learn more about it, look for those videos. Check those videos out. We had another super chat I want to make sure to get. Amani, am I saying that right? Amani Legend.
Mm-hmm.
Oops. What should I eat in that one meal to still drop? So we're talking about a 1 meal a day strategy. What should the one meal consist of so that they continue to drop weight?
Everybody's body is different. This will depend. Sorry. This is all contingent on whether you are working out. Because I would say if you're eating 1 meal a day, I'm vegan, y'all. So of course I'm not going to tell you to eat chicken breast or turkey breast. So I will say though, you would definitely want a high vegetable content. One, I would say do not consume a whole bunch of carbohydrates, especially if you're not working out, because I don't know what it is with carbohydrates, and me personally and a lot of other people that I know, carbohydrates just blow you up, especially rice. So I would say make sure that there is some type of vegetable that's going to help move things along, that's going to give you the nutrition that you need, and some type of fruit. Of course, now I like to do mushrooms and all the other kind of stuff, but it really just depends on you as an individual. You just don't want that one meal to be McDonald's. You don't want it to be Pizza Hut, and I'm not even sure if I should be naming these chains, but you don't want it to be pizza or some type of burger or some French fries or something. Whatever it is that you're going to eat, you don't want it to be fried. You want to make sure that this one meal is a meal that is high in nutrition.
Yeah, and I would say that keep in mind that 1 meal a day is we nowadays we accept this as a fasting strategy.
Right.
It's not fasting per se, because fasting is not eating. So once you eat, you're not fasting. But it's a fasting strategy, which means just by doing 1 meal a day, if you do that consistently, you're going to start to see the benefits of it, because what that means is you're fasting for 23 hours out of the day.
Right.
So, even when you eat poorly on a 1 meal a day strategy, you are still going to see benefits. But for optimal benefits, high water content foods, fruits, vegetables, quinoa is great to have. If you're a meat eater, because I know some of y'all you are going to eat meat and things like that.
Carnivores.
Make sure that you're eating high quality stuff. You can't go and get the Tyson Kroger brand and all that stuff. You got to spend a little extra more money, because you got to think about what they're doing to the animals and what they're putting them through, the antibiotics, and then all of the chemicals they put in that food before it gets to the shelf. Understand that if you kill an animal today, tomorrow the meat isn't gonna look fresh. So how is it that we get it to the grocery store and it looks vibrant and fresh and full of all the colors. These are chemicals they're putting in there. So this is why we don't promote eating meat. I mean, at least part of the reason is at least half of the reason why. Obviously, the animals is the other consideration.
Not to mention the meat glue, but that's a whole other.
Don't even mention meat glue. Look meat glue up.
Exactly.
All right, we got another super chat. We're gonna grab this real quick. It says, I have stage 4 colon cancer and I'm currently on round 3 of chemo. Do you recommend water fasting for someone in my situation, meaning while doing chemotherapy?
What I would recommend is actually switching to a 100% alkaline vegan diet.
Alkaline. That's very important.
Yeah, it's very important. Alkaline. So that means no potatoes, no rice. Well, let me tell you what you should be eating.
Right, because you can go forever.
Yeah, I can go forever with what you shouldn't. You're talking about garbanzo beans. You're talking about if you're going to do rice, and this is not even a rice, it's actually a sprouted grain, black rice. Literally at the Whole Food store, you can't even buy it in the box. You have to dig it out on your own and put it in the bag and they weigh it up. You're talking about butternut squash or regular squash. You're talking about zucchini. You're talking about portobello mushrooms or any type of mushroom except for the shiitake mushroom. You're talking about your bell peppers, your red onions, not the white onions, the red onions. You're talking about, oh my God, like
butternut squash.
Yeah, butternut squash, the regular squash. I mean, there are so much with fruit. There's watermelon, any type of berry except for cranberry. So that gives you strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, watermelon, mangoes, papayas, definitely papayas. And with papayas, keep the seeds, and you can actually cook with the seeds, and that will further help you. Because with the way that cancer is formed is because there is an irregularity with your cells. And so we are a part of a universe. And with that, the interesting thing that I found out about your cells is the way that the universe circuits is the same way that your cells circuit. And so when you throw your cells out of balance, they all clump up and creates a cancerous mass. And so with that, then you end up with cancer that was not hereditary, but it was passed down through lifestyle choices as it relates to what we eat and the environment that we're in. And so with that, in order to effectively fight that the way that you should, you have to put your body back to its original state. And with that being said, it has to be alkaline.
Hey y'all, this is the mic. That's why I'm reaching over here. It's got to be alkaline. That is so important. I'm talking a strict alkaline diet. You know what I mean? No table salt.
Right.
Okay. You want to make sure that you're using, you can still season your food and things like that, but be careful about what you're seasoning your food with. Use grape seed oil if you're going to use an oil, but really the fresh stuff, the raw stuff, is really good. Be careful about eating like vegetables raw, because once again, that can be very hard. High water content is the key. And then also, I did want to mention that a couple weeks ago, I did a video with an amazing young woman named Sasha.
The British lady.
Oh my God. Her accent, man.
Listen, we're not going to go there.
And she told an amazing story of having stage 4 cancer and how she was able, the doctors had told her, hey, we're just going to make you comfortable. Yeah. You know what I mean? And she was able to completely reverse that. So please check that out. I'm going to put that in the comment section right now, the live comments. I'm going to put it in there. Check out that video, because you can actually set up like consultations with her. She did juice fasting, which was it's the same stuff we're talking about now. Okay? And it'll help get you through that. And then when you're looking to, you're finished doing your treatments and everything like that, and you're looking to restore and nourish your body, because those treatments put your body through so much trauma, it's unreal. Then come join our oils group. Let's learn, let's talk about what herbs you need to be taking to help restore the gut flora, to build up your immune system again. This is serious. You know that, right? So please use these resources we have available, because whatever you're going through now, a year from now, you're going to look back on it and be like, wow, I can't believe how this all transpired. We can certainly help you.
And actually, when you go completely alkaline, it's not going to take a year for your body to snap back. When you go completely alkaline, you can actually see a change as early as 90 days.
Oh, yeah.
Very soon, because you are putting electric foods inside of your body, foods that are alive, foods that are actually going to nurture you on a cellular level. And so you will see change very quickly.
Yeah, someone said, what kind of fast can I do to lose 30 to 35 pounds after the fast? What can I eat to break the fast? So if you want to lose 30 to 35 pounds, I did a 30 pounds in 30 days program on the Fasting Academy, specifically for those who are interested in weight loss. If you just want to, weight is a problem for you, you want to get the weight off real quick, it's 30 pounds in 30 days. It's easy money. And I actually take you through a very gradual process, and it's kind of like Justin mentioned earlier. It's like almost like a mixed fasting, kind of, but we're really breaking all of the steps up into different processes you do weekly. And so I would highly recommend checking out our Fasting Academy, and that particular course is under the Fasting for Weight Loss area, and it's 30 pounds in 30 days. But you can use pretty much any form of fasting, but if you want to be successful, you want to make sure that you get the results you want, it's all about prep work and really outlining what that next 30 days or 60 days is going to look like, and then sticking to the plan. Do you have anything for that?
I concur. But you have to stick to the plan, and you have to be patient with weight loss. Because from experience, what I've noticed is, even with weight loss, sometimes you can step on the scale today and you can step on the scale tomorrow and you are heavier tomorrow than you were today. That does not mean that you're not making progress. And so a lot of people have the notion that the scale is supposed to just go straight down, when the actuality is more like those little monitors,
sine wave,
exactly, that you see in the hospital. It goes up, down, up, down, up, down, and then somewhere or another you just end up going all the way down. So you have to be patient and consistent with it as well, because at the end of the day, it didn't happen overnight to gain it.
Right.
So you want to make sure that the same concept of losing it is the same, that you say, okay, I didn't gain this overnight, so I definitely want to make sure that I lose it, and lose it the right way, that I'm not doing something crazy to lose a bunch of weight.
I mean, you could cut your arm off and lose 5-10 pounds.
Exactly.
But hey, for all of y'all who are enjoying this live, please make sure to hit that like button. Also, hit that share button. It looks like a little arrow. It's like almost like the Amazon upside down arrow Amazon sign. Share it on Facebook and wherever you guys practice social media. We got a question from Annie. She was asking, so fasting 16-8, so she's fasting 16 hours, eating 8 a day with low-cal meals. Should I lose weight?
You will absolutely lose weight.
I would say that, when we talk about low calorie, it's really, my thing is, I would be more concerned with eating high water content, right, versus saying, I'm going to eat low calories. Because you probably are going to lose weight. You probably are. But you're going to definitely lose weight if you're eating high water content. Low calorie doesn't say the same thing to me.
Exactly.
Because I view calories different. So, a 16-8 schedule is good. Now, if you have digestion issues, you could do a 16-8 schedule and still have issues.
Exactly.
Right? So this is where the coaching, this is the reason why we do what we do. Because sometimes people get out there and they're doing what some YouTubers tell them to do, and they're still having issues. Well, when you do coaching, we can talk to you specifically, individually, ask you very important questions and get to some of the core issues that might be causing you to have trouble. Now, I know personally I've got a consultations tab available on my website, ahealthyalternative.org. You go to ahealthyalternative.org, you click the consultation tab, you can schedule. Justin, how can people reach you to do consultations or whatever?
The best way to reach me, I am back on social media, so the best way to reach me is more than likely through my Instagram page, and we'll go from there. Either my Instagram or you can message me on Facebook. I'm back on all of my social media handles.
What's your Instagram again?
My Instagram is VeganSavageSC. That's the best way to reach me for a consultation because I only do a certain amount in a certain amount of time.
We're busy and it takes a lot of time, energy, and effort. I know some of y'all send me messages on Instagram and Facebook asking me questions. I get to you when I have time. And then sometimes you don't ever respond to the response, you know? It might take me 2 weeks to respond to you, and then you don't even respond to the response. I just wanted to let y'all know, please respond to the response, because it doesn't make me feel good when I do respond to you, and then you don't even respond to say thank you or hey, I already figured it out or something. Just reply.
Say something.
You know what I'm saying? Because like I'm very busy nowadays. And I do my best to continue to help people because whether you have money to pay for the consultation or to get into a program or not, I want to help you. So I still do make time. I take time out of my personal life and the time that I spend with my family to answer these questions. I get bombarded with questions all the time.
Gosh, yeah.
So please just respond and say thank you or you know what I mean? Follow up with me because that's what gives me life. To know that I can either help you or that the information was, helpful or whatever. Let's see if we can find another question. Justin, what you trying to do after this, man? It's about 9:30.
I'm free.
Shoot, man, we gotta figure out something to do, man.
I'm free.
South Carolina. What's South Carolina? Anybody in the chat from South Carolina?
Listen.
What y'all doing right now?
Columbia is a very interesting city. So, I mean, there's a lot to do depending on what you want to do. It's not Greenville, but hey.
Is Greenville like the spot?
Greenville is between Charlotte and Atlanta, so it is a very up-and-coming area. A lot of tourists, actually, so, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
It can be crazy.
All right, we got 2 questions. I'm gonna answer both these questions. Well, the first one is someone said I need advice on dry fasting. Okay, this is just
what about dry fasting?
Right, this is just a quick live. We can't cover the entirety that's dry fasting. I can tell you need to be very careful about dry fasting, and you need to educate yourself first. A lot of prep work goes into dry fasting,
like hydration.
That's the number one thing, hydration. So I have a video that I talk about dry fasting. You guys could check that out. I think it's called My First Dry Fasting Experience or My First Dry Fast. Also, once again, on the Academy, the AAH Fasting Academy, link is located right above my head. You can learn about dry fasting. I do cover that. But hydration is key with dry fasting. But the other question I wanted to put out there, can I heal HPV with fasting? I don't know if that's HIV.
Human papilloma virus.
Okay. Justin got it. I don't know what that is.
I would definitely say that along with fasting, you would have to do some other work. So fasting will definitely put you on a right path, especially if you do at least 3 days, because again, 3 days will give your cells time to rejuvenate. But then after that, I'm going to tell you the same thing that I told the person with cancer. You need to switch to alkaline. And again, I would say juice fasting will definitely help, especially because you are getting the nutrients straight. They're going straight to your cells from the moment of ingestion. And so it's going to work a little faster for you. And then after that, switch to alkaline and watch it, watch you don't have it anymore. I'm not going to say the other word.
Right, okay. Don't say that. The C word. We all know what it is. I will say that also keep in mind that the body has all these amazing alert systems.
Exactly.
So we look at the symptoms and we think, oh, this is a bad thing. We want to attack the symptom. The symptoms are just your body telling you what's going on and making you aware of it so that you can then support it, right? So when you have breakouts, anytime you're getting a breakout on your skin, that is an indicator that something's going on internally. This is not just like on your skin. So when you're breaking something out, when you're breaking out, your body is releasing. Your body uses the skin as, like, some people call it the third kidney. Your body releases through the skin.
It's the symptom.
And that's what's happening. So we're really just supporting the body. Once you actually release or you balance your system out, those bumps and things will go away. So that goes for eczema, acne. And the cool thing about acne is when you get acne, certain places on your face, they're actually indicators telling you what areas of your body you need to focus on.
Exactly.
So your body is so intelligent. In one of my last interviews I did with Felicia, what she called herself, the holistic gypsy. I can't remember, but she was talking about the science of iridology, right? Where you can pretty much look at someone's eyes and you could read where they're having issues, digestion or gut issues, liver issues, etc. The body does that. Your whole body can be like an information pamphlet to tell you what's going on where. So it's cool to get into some of those sciences and learn that stuff, because then you could target. And then you can use the herbs. Like we mentioned earlier, Justin's learning to be a master herbalist. You can use the herbs, you can use essential oils, and you can help promote. You can also there's certain flushes and detoxes. I promoted the liver and gallbladder flush heavily for a long time. You can literally target the liver and the system that surrounds it and flush that out. So yeah, let's see if we can find another question here. Keep in mind, y'all, once again, if we've either skipped your question or you don't feel like we're going to get to it, just use the super chat function. Use the super chat. We'll see it. So far, so good. I think we've hit all the super chats, and that will make sure that you get it. Okay, here's a question. Someone said, what are your thoughts about fasting but only allowing aired popcorn once per day?
I am not a fan of popcorn of any form, so I may be a little biased on that. I say avoid it like the plague. That's my take on it, because it's chemically induced, regardless of, unless there's some other type of popcorn out here that I'm not aware of, and I could very well not be aware of it. But I would definitely just stay away from it. I wouldn't say completely never have it, but I would definitely not make that a daily routine. Because didn't she say like once per day?
Once per day.
Yeah, I would not eat aired popcorn every day.
Aired popcorn. Corn is not a alkaline food.
It is very hybrid.
Keep in mind, it's a super hybrid. It has been genetically modified to the max. Okay, if you guys go and learn about corn and what corn originally looked like, the corn we eat today ain't nothing like that.
And it has no nutritional anything to it. Like, it looks the same as it does when you put it in.
It comes out the same. It tastes good. You know what I'm saying? It tastes good, but it's be careful with the corn. I actually cut corn out completely for a long time, as well as many of the other hybrid or GMO products. I've slowly started to allow myself to eat more of those things now, but when I had a major issue I was working on, I didn't eat that stuff. So
you can't.
You know, I wouldn't do popcorn. If you're fasting, you're fasting. Now, look, I'm not a hard strickler person. I can give you a little leeway. So if you want a break, basically what you're asking, can I have a break, every day? Yeah, you can have a break. Use fresh squeezed juice. Fresh squeezed juice is the best break. Do
best break.
12 ounces of fresh squeezed juice and keep it moving. Or you could prep like we mentioned earlier, and then you don't have trouble on your fast, and you ain't got to be asking for all these tricks.
Right.
One other good trick is we've got an oil blend that's really good for helping to suppress hunger pangs, and it's just essential oils. So that's also another hack you could use for that. But like I said, just go with straight water and keep it moving. I think we got a couple more questions. Hang on. Oh, someone asked, can you do? Wait a minute. It looked like they're going back and forth. Black rice and wild rice. Make sure it's wild rice. So wild rice is okay to eat. So I know Justin mentioned earlier. I think he mentioned staying away from rice.
Yeah.
Wild rice is good to eat
because the natural answer is not even a rice; it's a sprouted grain.
It's a sprouted grain, y'all. I didn't even know that. I thought it was just wild rice.
No, it's not. It's called rice because it looks like that, but it's when you cook it, it turns into like little circles. Have you ever seen it?
Well, I've seen the black rice.
Yeah, and then when you cook it, it
opens up.
Yeah, opens up, and it turns. So it's not even. It's considered rice because of the way it looks, but it's actually a sprouted grain.
That makes sense. Yeah. That makes sense, and it cooks a little slower. You gotta.
Oh God. I stick it in the slow cooker and just call it a night. I'll have it tomorrow.
That's the best way to do it. So when you cook your wild rice, make sure you prep because it's gonna be a while before you're gonna eat. But it's good. I like the texture. It's different. It's just you got to put a little prep work into it, right?
Yes.
We're gonna take a few more questions. Y'all make sure that if you want to make sure to get your question, use the super chat now because I'm not about to go through all the questions. We've been at it for about 1 hour and 45 minutes now. We're about to wrap this thing up. So I'm going to look and see if we could grab a couple more questions, and then we're going to wrap it up. I appreciate all y'all coming out, man. This has been amazing. Once again, make sure to share it. All right, because we want to get this out.
It looks like more people are coming in.
Yeah, more people are coming in because it's like they figuring out we on. So
y'all some late light ramblers.
Hey, but this video will be available for replay. So if you missed the beginning, we're gonna you could go and do your own little recap. Let's see what else we got here. Did you see anything, Justin?
No, I haven't seen any questions.
Okay, we got a donation. I think the name is Yeni Vas. Okay, I'm terrible at pronouncing words, so if I didn't pronounce your name wrong, I do it to everybody. But I appreciate the donation. Someone said, okay, this is a good question. Wouldn't 1 meal a day slow down your metabolism because it's technically low calories? Because I'd say it's hard to fit in a day caloric needs in just one meal. I'm confused. Ha 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 ha.
I wonder is that how they laugh when they said that?
Ha ha ha.
No, so 1 meal a day is not the same as low calories because honestly, you can get enough calories in that one meal to sustain or to meet the quote unquote caloric minimal intake. If you are eating calorie dense foods, you will definitely reach that goal. For me, because I've done 1 meal a day and I've done 1 meal a day very consistently, in that one meal I've been able to get at least 1,200 calories in, and that's the minimal requirement for your daily goals according to science. So it just depends on what you're eating. If you want to be very strategic about it, then you have to eat foods that are nutritious and they're not junk, but it's calorie dense. That's where your walnuts come in at. Walnuts are very calorically dense. 1 cup of walnuts, and that I can eat very easily, will give you about 600 calories from 1 cup. So if you add that to whatever else you are eating, that's going to give you your caloric requirement. But then again, you're fasting, and then you're breaking your fast with that meal, and you're going back into a fast. So it's not hindering your metabolism at all, because again, fasting is boosting your metabolism actually, and there's a growth hormone that happens with metabolism. It increases your growth hormone, so it's balancing everything out. Now, with low calorie diets, that's every day you're eating 500, 600, 700 calories a day, you're shutting your metabolism down that way. But if you are fasting, then it's completely different.
Also, keep in mind that how you eat is just as important as what you eat. Meaning, with a low calorie diet, if I'm low calorie, and I know like a lot of people who've done low calorie, I'm probably gonna want to eat a little bit right now, a little bit later, a little bit as a snack, a little bit before bed. You're spreading it out. That's completely different from fasting, right? One meal a day is water, 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 and then meal, and then water, 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 right? So it's just, they're two completely different things.
Opposite.
But great question, because that distinction does need to be made, and they're not the same. You could get 1,500 calories in one sitting. You can do that if that's what your goal is, and keep in mind that when you fast, depending on who you are and where you are and your body composition, anywhere from 12 to 16 hours, the benefits of fasting start to kick in.
Right.
Whereas with caloric deficit, you ain't never getting there.
Right.
Because you, in 16 hours, you done ate a couple times. Might not be much, but you're eating.
Yeah.
So they're two different things. We do not promote caloric deficits. That's what they do on The Biggest Loser, and that's the reason why you see those people having such massive problems after they've left that facility. They leave
Not
them.
to mention the mental anguish that they go through.
Thank you. Now that's a good point.
Because again, health and wellness, when you do it right, does not leave you in a state of depression and mental anguish and all of that kind of stuff. So just be very careful with the caloric deficit situation.
Someone said, what about hitting the gym and fasting? How not to pass out, get lightheaded, but still build muscle? I'm gonna start this, and I'm gonna pass it to Justin, because there's some things that off the rip I want to say. If you're looking to fast to build physique, okay, that's very different from what we're talking about. But if you're looking to fast to build physique, most people like using intermittent fasting schedules. Basically, you get to completely circumvent a lot of the deep detoxing, a lot of the healing, and some of the things we've talked about that go on when you fast. Okay, so it really depends on what you're fasting for, what's your motivation, and what's your drive. Other than that, I would say I know that we talked about it before, but I want to give Justin a chance to kind of weigh in on it.
I would say if you're fasting for muscle growth, I would not say be on a 5-day fast and in the gym working out. One, you're going to do more damage than good. I would say that you should definitely, if you're going to do it, I would say do it as a if you're going to work out fasted, then work out fasted. But I would not say by any means that you go on a 5-day fast or a 7-day fast and still try to pump it out in the gym, especially if you're not experienced, because you will end up passing out on the floor. Like I just did this last year. Thankfully I didn't pass out, but I wasn't far from passing out. I was on day 5 and I was at the gym and I wasn't even doing anything crazy. I just wanted to go get on the elliptical, and after 5 minutes, I literally felt like I had been running for an hour. So you want to be very careful with working out, especially if you're talking about pushing weight. The objective of fasting typically is for healing, and is to rest and reset your body. And if you are fasting and you're working out, that kind of sort of counteracts the entire process of healing, because the energy that your body should be using to heal is now using to recover your muscles. So you want to make sure that when you're fasting for weight loss, there's by any means necessary. I mean, by any means you can fast and work out, but I would definitely say make sure you put something in your body afterwards if you are not an experienced faster. Now, this is not for the Johns out there, because I'm not even on John's level when it comes to fasting and working out. So if you're not experienced, I would say if you want to go and work out fasted, absolutely. It does help with muscle growth. But again, after that, then you may want to, consume something to help with recovery.
All right. Someone said, is there a big difference between doing a 7-day fast and a 10-day fast as far as detoxing, cleansing your system?
That all depends on your body. Every person individually is different. So if you are doing a 7-day fast versus a 10-day fast, it all depends on the individual. So some people by 7 day they end up moving from necessarily from the weight loss aspect to more like the mental thing. A lot of people though after day 4 is in like a very euphoric state, but then again, it depends on the person and how toxic you are when you go into the fast. That will depend on which day you will experience whatever experience you're experiencing.
How many experiences does an experience when it's experiencing?
I did that.
Let's see. Someone asked earlier if there's different fasting regimens for children and pregnant women. I wanted to just briefly address it. You can fast as a child. I fasted as a child. There's a lot of people who fast as children. There's a lot of controversy when it comes to women fasting. You have Jason Fung who tells you not to fast, but then you have different religious sectors that do fast. Their women fast and things of that nature. So this is a very touchy subject. I would say that number one, if you're going to fast a child, they need to understand exactly what's going on and why. I would say that you want to keep those things short. And really, before you even start the process of fasting them, I would just really focus on dietary changes. It's a child. They eat what you feed them. So it would be much easier for you and your child to just simply start the process of eating better. You know what I mean? That's much easier. And also you can do fasting, as we mentioned earlier. There's a lot of different techniques for fasting that we utilize. You could do a 1 meal a day, or you could even just stop eating breakfast. Stop eating breakfast. Start drinking a juice, or eating a lot high water content foods. And some of the natural grains and things we've mentioned today, whether it's quinoa or wild rice, start incorporating more of that. Reduce the meat and dairy products, processed foods. Children eat a crap ton of processed foods, right? In every aspect of their life, they're being given processed foods. We got to stop doing that. And then once you've addressed those areas, what you'll notice is your child isn't as hungry. They don't eat as much. They may naturally start to adapt to, eating 1 meal a day, because oftentimes, and I know when I was a child, man, we're outside playing. We ain't thinking about eating.
Right.
I remember I would wake up early in the morning. Maybe I got a banana or something on my way out the door, and I wouldn't come back till dinner. What is that? That's old man.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's natural. It's just that we've been trained to eat those 3 meals a day. And the same advice I would say for a pregnant woman. If you were not fasting before you became pregnant, and then you start doing long-term fasting, your body may not respond the way that you expect it to. If you were fasting and then you became pregnant and fasting was a part of your regular regimen, I don't see anything wrong with that. And I know a lot of y'all will be like, Chris, you're crazy. You need to stop telling people that. Listen, I'm going to tell y'all the truth, okay? Right. I don't have a license, and so I don't have anything to protect if because like a lot of these people out here, they're protecting themselves. I don't got anything to lose. I can tell you the truth. So the truth is, if you've been fasting and your body was able to conceive a child under the conditions that you had it in, which was a fasted state or whatever you were doing, then why would that same condition be detrimental to that child, right? Keep in mind that every night we have a forced fast. It's called sleep. And if we didn't sleep, we would be eating, like Justin mentioned one time, 26 hours out of the day.
Exactly.
Right? We have to give our body rest. Okay, replace the word fasting with rest. And then ask me those same questions. Is it okay for a fasted woman to rest? Is it okay to give your body a chance to rest?
Right.
Okay, that's all fasting is. You don't got to do long fasts. I'm not telling you to be pregnant and do a 21-day fast.
Right.
Do not misconstrue my words. But what I'm saying is 24 hours is a fast.
Right.
Right? So, I just wanted to get that out there. Hopefully I addressed all the people who are going to tell me, Chris, I'm crazy and I'm going to hurt people. You know, early on when I started the channel, people tell me that all the time. You're crazy. You're going to hurt people. I've not had one person yet that says, you know what, Chris, I followed your information to the T and you hurt me.
And I died.
And I died, you know, or whatever. I have not had one person yet come back to me and say that to me. So obviously the information is correct. The channel's growing. You know, everything is just progressing and getting better. Yo, shout out to the shirts. Healthy Alternative shirts are available. They're on sale right now through Teespring. Link is in the description box. Grab yours today. Also, I got the bracelets on sale. I know this seems like crazy, but I promised myself I was going to promote my stuff because I don't promote my stuff.
You got to promote it.
Look, bracelets are on sale. They're $15 right now. Now use the discount code BO220. Okay, BO20. Journals and bracelets on sale now. Justin, we're about to wrap this up, man. Any closing thoughts?
What I will say, closing thoughts, because I got hit up today about something that was very concerning to me, because there was a lady that was saying that she was starting to fast, and that, of course, and there was a gentleman that hit me up today and said they were starting to fast, and they was telling people, you know, about the fast, and of course they was being discouraged by it. What I will say to you is that when you are on your journey, it is not your responsibility to broadcast your journey to everybody. And I think I said this when I initially did my first interview, because there were so many people telling me that, oh, you're not going to be able to do that, da-da-da-da-da. What I've learned is as you are on the journey, you will encounter people who will be on the same journey and the same wavelength that you're on. And in that, you can express to them, you know, your feelings, i.e. a healthy alternative. I was literally minding my own business. I made up in my mind that I wanted to, you know, change, you know, the way that I was living and get with like-minded people, and boom, Healthy Alternative just popped up out of nowhere on YouTube. So again, when you're on your journey, I would say don't broadcast it to everybody, because everybody's not going to understand it. And I will also say surround yourself with people who are on the same wavelength as you and who are going where you are going, or who are, you know, on their way somewhere. Because when you look at it, in reality, the people that you are surrounded by, the people that are the closest to you, look at them and see if they are conducive for where you are going. Okay, they may have been good for where you currently are or where you once was, but are they the people that are going to support you in your future? A lot of people like to live in the now, but are you surrounding yourself with people that are able to push you to your next level and to be able to stay with you when you are well into your future? And if they are not that person, then it's a way that you have to become distant allies, not necessarily kick them to the curb, because they're not necessarily evil people, but there are people that are not strong enough to handle where you are going in your future. And the same thing, you have to be unbiased and say, am I supporting the people that are close to me, that I can push them to their next place in life as well? So I would definitely say, as you are on your journeys and as you are, you know, thinking about life in general, that as it relates to your health, find your finances, everything, because I'm all about holistic wellness. Whatever it is in your life, make sure that the people that are surrounded by you, that you are surrounded by, that they are the people that can help take you to the next place. And if not, it's very telling. The people that you surround yourself with is very telling, because if you're hanging around a bunch of people who are about a whole bunch of nothing, then what are you going to become out of that? But if you are surrounded by people who are going somewhere and have goals, ambitions, and have a plan for their life, that means that you're going somewhere too, because you're surrounded by people who are going somewhere. So just be mindful about that.
Facts. Big facts.
Yeah.
Justin, we're going to Cancun in November. And I know you're busy. You're the Vegan Savage. You're being an herbalist and everything you got going on. November 5th through the 9th, I want to specifically invite you because I want you, if you can make it.
Okay.
If you can make it, I want you to come on out. Quite a few people have already signed up. If you guys are interested in learning more about the trip, it's a all-inclusive resort to Cancun. Join the Facebook group. That's AHA Cancun Takeover. I got all these Facebook groups now.
Oh my gosh, I've been out for social media for a long time.
Long time, man. But yeah, we're gonna go, and I'd love to invite you to come and join us, as well as any of y'all who are viewing. Invite your friends and family. It's not a fasting retreat. It's just a meet and greet for a healthy alternative. We're gonna dig our toes in the sand, have some local food, things like that. And then I'm going to schedule the conference room so that we could get together and do like a little mini convention or event as well. And, if you come, I'm definitely going to put you on stage. So
my God. Don't y'all come around there fasting like the old people say. Don't y'all come around there talking about you fasting. This is not the event for that.
This is not the event for that. We're going to eat. Okay. We're going to enjoy some of the local culture, and we're going to have fun. So that's what it is. But I just wanted to make sure to shoot you that invite and also shoot y'all that invite. We did have one more super chat, looks like, from Hannibal Johnson. Do either of y'all have any go-to food recipes?
Listen, so my eating habits are completely... The only way that I will really eat something that people would be considered enjoyable is if I'm out of town a lot. If I'm on vacation. So for me, as long as I have a mango handy, I am good. Mangoes, seeded grapes are literally my go-tos. Because I can eat it on the rip and and that just be that. But as far as a go-to meal, I dry saute portobello mushrooms with onions, bell peppers, and all kind of other peppers, and I actually do kale or either turnip greens with that, and that's it. Here lately, I don't be feeling like cooking much. But when I get in the groove to cook, I will throw down. But if not, that's pretty much my go-to. And if it's a mango or a grape, that's all I'm gonna have. And walnuts. That's it.
Hey, and you could keep it simple. I like to get in and out of the kitchen as quickly as possible. That's my goal in everything I do. So I want to make the most amazing thing quickly in like 20, maybe 30 minutes is pushing it.
Oh goodness.
But what I would say is, I don't have a particular go-to. I change it up every couple days. I would say that it's something along the lines of a vegetable medley with quinoa would probably be my go-to. So that means I'm talking about bell peppers, onions, tomatoes. What else would I put in there? Squash. I'll literally season those all together, put it in there. Of course, you can't forget the mushrooms. I really love experimenting with different mushrooms, whether it's portobellos or oyster mushrooms. I had some lobster mushrooms. I mean, I go in on the mushrooms, so I'm always trying something new. But I'll usually marinate that, and I have my own little marinade, which is balsamic vinaigrette, smoked paprika, sea salt, onion powder, cayenne powder, and maybe a little bit of maple syrup if you really want to, you know what I'm saying?
Give it a little
sweetness and edge. And I'll marinate that, and I'll throw that in there with those vegetables, and then I'll season those with something similar, and then I will make some quinoa. If you guys want to do something real special with your quinoa, use vegetable broth instead of water with your quinoa, and then you put that all together. And I love that because it's quick, it's easy to make. I make a lot of it. I can eat on it for a couple of days. Now, we do have an amazing go-to recipe. We call it John's chili recipe. Oh and that chili, you had it at the event?
Yes.
We made 2 big old pots of it, and that chili was scraped dry. Y'all crushed it. So
you basically saying we greedy, y'all.
I got the recipe for that chili somewhere. I don't know. Remember, I know Patreon got it for sure because I gave Patreon a couple of recipes. I don't think I put the recipe on YouTube yet, but I think we both mentioned we're going to be putting together some cookbooks or something like that. I know I'm going to be working on my cookbook this year for sure because I didn't do it last year. So one of my goals is to get the cookbook out, and I'm definitely going to be doing that. So that's it for all the super chat questions. My closing statements go a little something like this. Thank you all for supporting this event. If you guys haven't already, please do hit that like button because we want to make sure the YouTube algorithm picks up on this and boosts this video. I want to do these more frequently. So as long as financially I can do it, I'd love to come to your city, your town, do the live interview with you after you've accomplished something great. And then of course, we could do the first interview and then we'll do your follow-up live interview later on, maybe a year later, whatever it might be, a few months later to see how things are progressing. But yeah, I want to keep doing this. If you guys enjoyed this, just like I said, do the likes, do the shares, show me that you enjoyed it so that we can continue doing this. And of course, thank you all for, sticking around and supporting the movement. The movement is growing. A Healthy Alternative is doing very well. For those who are interested, we have almost 150,000 members throughout our different various platforms and things like that. So this is a huge movement. And I really want to support you all. Keep bringing out new information and helping the world heal. And one of the reasons why I wanted to bring Justin on and do this first is because out of everybody that I spoke to early on, Justin, first of all, lost 200 pounds. Okay. Almost died in his sleep. It was such a powerful message. And then he turned around and took all the knowledge and everything that he had learned, and he went on to help other people and to commit and dedicate his time to helping others. And that was literally what I had hoped that, would happen with the Healthy Alternative, is that I could share my light with you, you start to illuminate, and you share your light with the next person. So I appreciate that you have taken up the torch. It's many heads to this dragon. Y'all aren't going to be able to just lop Chris James' head off and be like, Healthy Alternative's dead. Now you got Justin Vegan Savage, you got Jay Free, my brother John, you got Queen Body, Steven. We've got so many members who are, doing big things and continuing to increase their wellness. When we had our first event, we had quite a few speakers come out. We had an amazing turnout. I was so proud of everybody for supporting, and I've got the event. I just put the final touches on the editing, and I'm going to be announcing the release of it very soon, so you guys can be looking out for that. That'll probably be coming up within the first week, the next week. So if you guys missed the live event, you'll be able to catch the replay, and that's going to be coming out soon. Looks like somebody hit us with another super chat, so I want to honor that.
Absolutely.
My Boogie Johnson said, I did an 18-hour fast and failed miserably. Thank you guys for giving me so many nuggets. You're very welcome.
Yeah.
You're very welcome because, we all got to start somewhere.
Exactly. You definitely have to start somewhere. You're not going, there's a saying that Rome wasn't built in a day. You doing the 18-hour fast will definitely put you in a position to where maybe you can't do a full 24-hour yet, but you can add another hour to that until you get to 24-hour. So you're definitely setting yourself to become successful in it. A lot of people fail because they try to jump out and do something huge instead of just starting where they are. And so just start where you are.
Start where you are, baby steps, gradual increase, all things that are super important, and also things we could be aware of and actively practice. Don't beat yourself up. You didn't fail.
Right.
Your fasting's a muscle. You know what? People don't go to the gym and hit the dumbbells and after 2 or 3 sets say, man, I failed. My muscles aren't bigger. Right. You know what I mean? You're working that muscle. You're working it, you're breaking it down, you're building it up, and over time, that's where you'll see the result. So thank you for caring about your wellness. Because starting with the individual, as we all get healthier, I say it all the time, we become a better person, and slowly but surely we'll make the world a better place.
Absolutely.
So on that note, thank you all for tuning in. Share, hit the like button. I know y'all tired of saying subscribe, and hit the notification bell, because a lot of y'all are not seeing the videos that we're putting out. If I do lives and things like that, you're not notified. So make sure to subscribe. If you're not, go subscribe right now. Subscribe and hit the notification bell. I only put out one video a week. We might be doing more coming up, but it ain't gonna be annoying. Okay, I put out good content.
Exactly.
So check me out, y'all. And as always, the application of knowledge is power, and we'll catch y'all on the flip side. All right, let's go ahead and close it out. How do I end the stream?